Hello everyone. Well, welcome to our grammar class. Hope you all are fine. So children, today we'll be discussing a new topic, that is subject verb agreement. So if you guys remember, we have come across this section or this topic in many of our lessons. Well, what do you mean by this subject verb agreement? It means they have to agree with each other. What is that? Well, that means if the subject is singular, verb should be singular. And if the subject is plural, then the verb should be plural. So, before going to this chapter, let me make you clear that in this chapter, you need to focus on subject, verb, noun, because our subject will be focusing on noun. And you should also know what is singular noun and plural noun, what is singular verb and plural verb. So now in this chapter we'll be also discussing the rules to change verb according to the subject. So now children, let's get started. Now look at these examples. The girl sings. The girls sing. Did you see this? See how the verb changes according to the subject. So this is what we are going to discuss in this subject verb agreement. So before going to the lesson, let us have a quick look at this topic. That is subject. What is subject? Person, place, or thing or idea that is doing or being something. That is, who is performing an action. That is subject. Now what is verb? Action performed by the subject or state of being. That is, what subject is performing. That is called a verb. Noun, it's the name of a person, place, animal or thing. Then what do you mean by singular noun and plural noun? Singular noun is just one, where subject is just one, single. And plural noun means the subject is more than one. And singular verb means a verb that has s along with it. At the end of the word we have an s. For example, eats, drinks. Then what do you mean by plural verb? That means it's also called base form of the verb. That means it's an action word which doesn't have an s at the end of the word. For example, eat, drink. So now I hope that you all have got an idea about these topics. So now we can move to some of the rules of how to change verb according to the subject. So there are many rules, but I'll be discussing some of the rules that are being discussed in your chapter, and that will help you to do the exercise. So now children, let's get started. Rule 1. We use singular verbs with uncountable nouns. I hope that you guys remember what do you mean by countable and uncountable noun. Well, countable noun means those things that we can count. And uncountable nouns means we cannot count them. For example, water, sand, gold, etc. So our rule says use singular verbs with uncountable nouns. Just look at the example. Water is essential for living. So now apply this example to our rule. Water is uncountable noun. So we have used the verb is, which is singular verb. Just let us see another example. Milk is sold here. Just look at over here. Milk is uncountable noun. Again, we used singular verb, that is. Now, let's move to our next rule. Rule 2. It says, two singular subjects connected by and require a plural verb. That means, two subjects that are singular are connected by and. They will follow a plural verb. Just look at this example. Gold and silver are precious metal. Here we have gold and silver. They are two singular subjects and it will follow are, that is a plural verb. Next, let us see another example. He and I were playing. Now, just apply the rule over here. We have he, I. They are two singular subjects and they are connected by and. And so, our rule says it will follow a plural verb. So, we have over here were. He and I were playing. Okay. Now, we'll move to our next rule. Rule 3 says we use singular verbs when two subjects joined by and are seen as one unit. Here, the whole thing is that you have to consider the sentence into one idea to the mind. Just look at the example. Bread and butter is his only food. In this example, we have bread and butter, two subjects which are joined by and, as it is joined in our rule 2. But here difference is that you are considering them as one idea. So, here the verb used is singular. Please don't get confused with our rule 2. Next we have time and tide waits for no one. Here again, time and tide are two subjects which are joined by and, but they are leading to one idea. It is all about how you consider or how you keep the idea as one idea. So, here the verb is waits, which is singular verb. Hope this part is very clear. Next, we'll move to rule number 4. Rule 4 talks about the use of or nor. Here we can understand this. It has two parts. The first one, two or more singular subjects joined by or nor require singular verb. For example, neither food nor water was found there. If you see in this example, we have two singular subjects, food and water, which are joined by nor. And the rule says we have to use over here singular verb, was. The next example, either the cat or mouse has been there. Again, we have here two subjects, that is the cat, mouse. which are joined by O. So, it has a singular verb has. Now, this rule has an exception. In the second case, singular subject and plural subjects are joined with or nor require plural verb. That means single subject is joined with plural subjects with or nor. In that case, we have to use a plural verb. Now, just look at this example. Neither the chairman nor the directors are present. Just apply the rule over here. We have the chairman, which is a singular subject, and it is joined with another plural subject, that is the directors. Now, directors here we have a plural subject, right? And they are joined by using nor. So, singular subject plus plural subject joined by nor. We have to use plural verb. See? This is the difference that we can see in our second case from our first case. Next, we'll move to rule number 5. Rule 5 says, use singular verbs with these words like each, either, every, nobody, somebody, someone, many, etc. For example, every one of the boys loves to ride the car. See, here we have every one of the boys. We have the word everyone. So, we have to use a singular verb, loves. Remember, singular verb is formed by adding s to the verb. Let's have another example. Many a man has done so. In this example, we have the subject a man, which has the word many in front of it. So, the rule says if we have many, then we have to use singular verb, that is has. Next, rule 6. It says that noun that have a plural form but singular in meaning will carry singular verb. Let's understand this with an example. Mathematics is the branch of study in every school. Just look at the word mathematics. Since it carries an S at the end, it will have a plural form. But it's singular noun and hence a singular meaning. So, it will carry a singular verb is. Let's understand this with another example. The news is true. Here the word news also carry s along with it. So, it gives a look as though it is plural in form. But it's a singular noun and hence we have used here the singular verb is. And the last rule for you, rule 7. It says that noun which is singular in form but has plural in meaning will have plural verb. That means noun that is looking as though it is singular in form but it has a plural meaning. In such cases, you have to use a plural verb. Let's understand this with an example. 1 dozen apple cost 1000 rupees. In this example, we have the word 1 dozen apple, that's our noun, and it shows that it is in a singular form. Since we have the word over there, one, and apple. But it has a plural meaning. Since 1 dozen means 12 pieces. So, here we have singular form but plural in meaning. So, in such a case, we have to use a plural verb. So, we have used cost. That is our verb. And cost is the plural verb that is base form of the verb. So, we have completed our this lesson subject verb agreement. Please try to remember all the rules. There are more rules to this topic, but I have discussed only some of the rules based on your textbook. So kids, hope you all have understood this lesson. Until our next class, have a nice day. Thank you.